We're rolling. Alright, welcome. Dude. Dude. Okay. We're getting nowhere, bro.
Dude, I don't know what's wrong. I actually don't know what's wrong.
Alright, welcome. Alright.
Okay.
Welcome to Breaking Macho. My name is Declan Gook, and I am joined with my co-host.
Julian Sullivan.
And we are covering the male stereotype in the American identity. Julian, what does being a male mean to you in day-to-day life?
Well, it kind of depends. The whole male stereotype, I feel like there's multiple different kinds, especially like in America. But like a big one we see is like the whole like kind of tough like macho man type thing, you know? I mean, to be quite honest, I don't really think about it that much, like what being a male means to me. And I feel like part of it comes from like privilege, because like for me, I haven't had a lot of expectations, but like there is definitely some where it's like I feel like as a male, at least in my experience, and I feel like I see other people this too. You kind of have to like conform and fit certain molds, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like there's this expectation. It's kind of a double, like, and not to say that both sides kind of have this, but it's kind of this weird expectation where it's like you have to always be very kind of tough, and it's very bad to show emotion, like kind of unmasculine. And it's like that's a bad thing, even though I feel there's sometimes like it isn't, you know? What about you? Like, how's it affected you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the stereotype. I think a big word we can use is rub some dirt on it. I feel like that's what a lot of people are told when they're injured or something. Like when a guy's hurt, you're just told to rub some dirt on it. That's something I've experienced pretty commonly. And
It's a lot of like just toughness that you kind of have to have, you know?
a lot of times now you don't see it a lot, right? Just like in daily life now. But I feel like it's really built into our system, right? Completely playing off the American dream, right? I feel as if the American dream, like what modern America is built off of, is that the man goes to work and the woman stays home to cook.
Yeah.
And I feel like as much as it affects the woman, it affects the man too, right?
Yeah.
Having to be held to that standard of like being tough, right? And not being able to open up.
Yeah. And I almost feel like it's kind of a mold of society that doesn't really fit where we are now, because it's kind of so rooted in like sexism going back from literally like ever since we've been farming, where it's like the woman would kind of stay behind, the men would go hunting and stuff. And it's kind of that's been the precedent for so long, where it's just expected that men have to do all this stuff, and then women have like a backseat side, which is effed up. And then nowadays we're kind of starting to see some more progressive stuff with that, like, you know, people are women are it's not perfect, but are kind of getting more economic freedom, but there's still that kind of idea that this man has to be this kind of tough guy, and it just doesn't really fit anymore. And I feel like you see a lot. I could be wrong, but from the statistics, I just see, you know, isn't it like there are pretty big mental health crisis, like especially for like men right now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hey, we're doing good. We're doing good.
I mean, yeah, I can see the male health crisis, right? You see a lot with male loneliness and just like the struggle for men in general not being able to reach out.
What do you think it means to be a man, really? Because it's not something I really think of that much.
I mean, I don't know. In my, like, just when I live, I don't think about it. But in general, like, what I've grown up with is definitely to be on the tougher side and to, like, work and to provide. But, I mean, that's how I've grown up and that's what I've seen. And I really like what you said about how that mold isn't being fit anymore. I feel like that's a good way to put it, is that back then, even with, like, women at home, the American dream, when it was very prevalent, I feel like those molds really fit both sides. But now that we're becoming a more progressive society, I feel like we're really breaking that mold for women, but that mold for men is staying, and like a lot of men are not fitting that mold because of how progressive we're becoming.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny too, because when you like, it kind of goes into like gender roles. Like for me, it's like it's not that there's an inherently bad thing with this whole male stigma where it's like men are X, Y, and Z. It's more so to me harmful the idea that it should be the case, and that like it should, like I almost feel, because for me, I kind of like sometimes it's kind of like, you know, I feel like there's positive things, like positive masculine things, positive feminine things. It's that like that's not the issue. It's more that society wants you just because of your sex to go one way or the other.
You can't break. You can't break out of that rule.
Yeah,
and I feel like really now we're seeing a lot of effects, and I feel like back then we saw a lot of effects. It's just like male mental health, and just like having to live with your problems and not being able to reach out.
Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, among my friends and stuff, I've seen that sometimes, right? They've had trouble reaching out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
One thing that gets stupid is, like, men kind of will get trapped because this whole macho stereotype where it's like, they can't embrace or do anything that they may want to if it's, like, feminine. You know? Isn't that, I always felt that's kind of just, like, a kind of backwards thing. And it's, what's funny is, it often that kind of stereotype, it gets held by men. It's kind of, I almost feel like it's like these guys that like need to be kind of tough and stuff, like macho. It's kind of them projecting their insecurities, where it's like they have to feel so like higher than everyone that they kind of want to put others down and go, oh, you're just, you know, you're just being girly or whatever. For things that shouldn't really be like, you know, such a stigma, and it goes for both women and men. I feel there's a lot of stereotypes.
I feel like that stereotype is promoted a lot by Gen X and Boomers. Still, like, I feel like the people who have the most influence in saying that is Gen X and Boomers, and that's having an effect on millennials in Gen Z because they're being directly told that, and they feel that like there's no way past that.
Yeah. And well, on that note, I actually just got a message. So I got a guest speaker we can have on here.
A few guest speakers.
Yeah, a few. There's one who's actually like proclaiming like a positive for these like macho stereotypes.
And we're looking to ask him a few questions.
Yeah. His name is
we would like to welcome Daniel.
Johnny Alpha?
Yeah, Johnny Alpha.
This guy in here.
Johnny Alpha, can we welcome you to the podcast?
Yeah. Okay, what's up, Johnny Alpha? How's it going, man?
Johnny Alpha here is one of my good friends, so
Hello.
We've been friends for a while.
Oh, cool. Welcome to the podcast, man. If you're talking about the macho and the stereotype, all of this stuff. We have a few questions if we could ask you.
Yeah? Okay, let me hear them.
Okay.
And you go ahead and introduce yourself if you need to, but
Oh, I'm Johnny Alpha.
Actually, I mean
I like it.
Okay. Okay. Actually, before we start, where would you lean on like liberal to conservative? Where would you lean on that spectrum?
Yeah.
I mean, like, my leader.
Oh, where do you?
I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat it?
Johnny Alpha, on the liberal conservative spectrum, where would you say?
I got this. Wait, so Johnny Alpha, just because we're kind of talking about the political topic, we're just curious. Where would you say you kind of line yourself, like, you know, more conservative, more liberal, like around where?
I'd probably say more conservative.
Okay. Interesting. Real quick. So first question off the bat, just judging off like your kind of social media kind of identity, would you consider yourself a macho man?
Yes.
I would. Okay. By
are you macho? Then just talk more about that. Okay. So would you consider yourself a macho man?
Yeah, I would. I'm, you know, I come from a long line of macho.
Alright, get it out. Okay.
Say I'm like a really tough guy.
Get it out now. Okay. Alright.
Give me a minute. I'm actually crying. Can we cut this out?
Yes. This is all being cut. Alright. I don't know. I'm ready.
Can you lower your voice? Like, yeah, I consider myself a macho man.
Julian, I'm telling you, I have tears screaming.
Okay. Okay.
Wait. Okay. Maybe if I have like a plan on what I'm gonna say. Maybe if I get it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Johnny Alpha. Would you consider yourself a macho man?
I would consider myself a much.
Dude! Shut up, bro. Be serious. Okay.
One more.
Johnny Alpha,
One more.
would you consider yourself a macho man?
I would consider myself a macho man.
And what does it mean? What does it mean for you to be a macho man?
I mean, it's really rooted into my family, you know?
Deep family
Like-
values.
Deep family values, you know. My dad's always very valued, like, raising me to be the man of the household when I'm an adult,
Okay.
you know?
Do you feel like
He's
any
always-
pressure? Like,
I mean,
having to
like-
be in that role?
Maybe I did when I was younger, but, like, I feel like it's something that every man goes through, you know?
Do you enjoy being a macho man?
Oh, absolutely. I mean... yes.
No, absolutely. Okay, I mean,
I absolutely enjoy it. It
and
makes me a better person.
You enjoy being a macho?
all right. Hold on, restart. And would you say, all right, Julian Lockett?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, would you say you enjoy being a macho man?
I mean, absolutely. You know, this has been something that's like, it's really been, like I've said, it's rooted in my family. You know,
Okay.
I've been ready to be like this since I was born, almost. You know,
And how has it been like taught like throughout your childhood? How have you been taught to become a macho man and like fit that stereotype?
I mean, my dad, he's always been a great example. You know, he's always been working. You know, like he's always made sure to like provide money for the family. You know,
And so you kind of have like the working man housewife thing going on like around.
yeah,
your
I
house.
do. Like my mom tends to cook and clean. You know,
Okay.
she does the stuff around the house, like raising the children, and then my dad, he'll go out and work.
Yeah.
What role, like going on that, like what role do you think men in general have to fill in, or like what is their purpose in our like in America? Like what should, as a man, what should you be doing?
So, man, I mean, ideally, you need to find yourself a family.
Okay.
Like that should be a very core value, you know.
So you believe like marrying in your 20s and just like settling down immediately?
I mean, you don't have to settle, you know,
Okay.
but it has to, you know, it's something that you need to do because you need to show your manliness, you know.
Okay.
Like,
By-
do you think
by
that like
passing
men
that
show
on.
emotion?
Maybe privately, but publicly, women should not show emotion.
Women?
No, I meant to say. I'm sorry.
Okay. We gotta. I'm sorry. We're kind of changing. This whole topic is just about like the working man household.
I don't know. I'm
We're
trying to.
changing it.
Okay.
I need you. Okay, can we? Daniel, I need you to be like, no.
How to
Men
be worse?
should not show fear.
Yes,
Men should
yes,
go to
Julian.
war.
Julian,
No, I need you to be giving cigarettes to, like-
Julian, do you know how hard it is to not laugh while trying to be?
Bro.
Okay.
We
What-
need-
Okay.
we need
I got
you
this.
to
I got this.
say-
I got this.
Oh, okay, because we're like,
I'll
what's
lock
your
in.
man
I'll
say?
lock in.
We want you to say like,
I've learned
be
it's a
woman
lot.
shit, and you just say, you really have a family. Oh no, he's some kids.
Okay.
dog.
Okay. I did. Okay. It's
All right.
like
Do we restart the portion?
Do
Do
you
we restart the portion? Okay.
I'm okay. Okay. I need. I'm just disabling your cameras. I can't look at them.
Okay. Dude,
Every time
need
I
you- need
glance
you
at
to be,
any
like,
of y'all's
tough,
faces.
angry, and like
Yes.
redneck.
Okay. Yes. You
I
need to be
will-
far. Yeah. Yes. You're far right.
I need you to have 7 guns. Like I need you to be jerking off
And then-
AR-15.
No. And then Caitlin, if you're listening, you're like far left leaning, right?
Yeah.
You're in the middle.
My bad, guy. My
Men-
bad. I was actually just trying so hard to. Like,
Men cannot
push my
show
face.
emotion. Okay. So all right.
Okay, let's
And
restart.
okay
this.
for the podcast.
Be all right. You know.
Next for this segment of the podcast, we would like to bring on one of our friends, Johnny Alpha, and see what he has to say about the Macho Man.
Yeah, let's bring him on.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast,
Hello?
Johnny. Yeah, hi.
Hey,
Hello?
Johnny.
How are y'all doing?
I'm good.
I'm doing pretty
How are
good. We're just discussing the Macho Man, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
nothing,
so
nothing but.
chill.
Okay.
Like it. Hey, so Johnny, just judging off your kind of more
Actually,
right kind of
wait.
page on your
What did you say you are?
Just stop.
What the fuck?
Okay. Okay. So Johnny, judging from like your Instagram, you seem like a pretty self-proclaimed kind of man. Like, would you consider yourself a macho man?
Oh, absolutely. You know,
Okay.
like I don't think that there's room in this world for like a weak man. You know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And what would you say being a macho man means in general?
Yeah.
Being a macho man, it means like it means you need to fight. You know, you need to like war is calling. You need to.
Not too far. Too far.
No, perfect.
No.
Say war is calling. Please say war is calling. Please, I beg you.
No.
Beg you. That's it. No. I'm gonna ask it again, and you're gonna say the same thing, right? Okay.
Okay.
Wait. So, like, what is like to you being a macho man mean?
I mean, like a macho man, it means a lot to me. You know, like say like there's a war. War is calling. Okay, you need to pack your guns, pack your bags. You need to leave your family. You need to fight for your country. Okay, there's no time for
Wow.
sissy American stupidness.
Wow.
Okay,
Stupid
it's
liberals.
interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that. Like, what to you like makes like a man kind of a sissy? You know, like what? Why is that like a bad thing? Like, why is this kind of not super tough masculine thing? Why?
I mean,
makes that negative?
huge example in the stupid generation. The most recent one, Gen Z, is all these dumb boys are wearing makeup now.
Okay. Interesting.
That is inappropriate.
And this is gonna be a prevalent photo that comes up in this podcast. But what do you think of a man who looks like this?
One moment, let me. Oh, it's blinding. Ugh.
Interesting.
Get that off my screen. Get that off of my screen right now.
Okay.
Now, here's what I kind of want to say is like, what role in that case like do you think men have in like American society? Because
American society, men need to provide, okay?
Mhm.
Because we're the only ones capable of doing it.
Where
Okay.
Where did you learn these values? Like, how did you learn that men need to provide?
I mean, my dad drilled it into my brain.
Okay, sorry.
I know. Don't need to re-ask. Just answer.
Where did you learn these values?
I learned these from my family, you know, like very hardcore beliefs. Like this is what has to be done, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
From a young
do you feel
age.
like,
Yes.
do you feel like pressure, like as a man, with like all kind of that responsibility that you kind of have to give yourself?
I mean, maybe a bit of pressure, but I feel like it's good pressure. You know, it's what a man needs to thrive in American society. You know.
How do you deal with that kind of like? Who can you go to? So like, what do you do when you
I
have
mean,
pressure with that?
Normally I go to the shooting range, just shoot guns.
okay, so
I imagine it's like the enemy invading. You know, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I can protect.
Well, so at that point, what I guess I kind of need to like see is like, I think what you're kind of doing with yourself, like that is kind of like that's fine because if that's like a fulfilling thing, but like to you, it's like, what do you say about the guys that don't want to fit that mold? What do you say about like
They're not welcome. They need to go.
Okay. I mean, is it bad?
That's where you and me disagree.
Wait, is it bad to express your feelings, like a man to express their feelings to somebody else?
I mean, I personally don't think men should have feelings. You know.
Okay. Do you think they're just designed to work and provide?
I do. I think that all men who say that they're having feelings, I think that they're faking it. Like in a realistic society, like a man wouldn't have those. You know. Like the only feeling a man should have is like bloodlust to go to war.
Okay, that's interesting, and I love that you're saying that because it's like definitely a clear kind of difference. Because I think the big issue with me for that viewpoint is the fact that like there's no room for any other group. Because like I think
why would you need another group?
Race,
But I mean,
because I feel there's a difference between like embracing. I feel like your masculine kind of identity or your feminine identity. There's between that and then kind of trying to say that's the only way. Because I feel like there's a mental health crisis, man. I feel like a big part of that could be the pressure they have because they feel
mental
like
health doesn't exist.
Okay, and I mean, what do you think? Like, if a man is maybe on the verge of suicide because he's not being able to, like, voice their problems, How do you feel about that?
Have a moment to think about it.
Okay.
Can we bring on the other speaker?
Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Now, we'd like to take Johnny off for a second. He'll most likely be back on, but we would like to bring Ted and Cash
Hey,
on
can
the
we get,
podcast.
Yeah.
Ted and Cash. All right. Ted, Cash, you're up. What's up, guys?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
you know,
Right now,
and for our listeners, Ted is a writer for the Liberal News. And our buddy Cash
is good acquaintances.
he's a good friend with us.
Yeah.
Yep, good acquaintances. And I think he has a lot to kind of differentiate between like the Macho Man stuff. We all know he's a bit more of like a feminine guy and stuff, self-proclaimed.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And just to set the record straight, what do y'all lean on the liberal conservative spectrum? Just to set it.
Well, as Julian said, I am a writer.
Highly liberal.
Lock in.
Okay. Where would y'all, to set the record straight, where would y'all lean on the liberal conservative spectrum?
Well, as Julian said, I write for the Liberal News, so definitely very liberal, blue
Okay.
hair and all.
Okay, and Cash.
Yeah, cool.
Cash.
Incredibly liberal as well. Incredibly liberal.
Okay. And I mean, what does the Macho Man stereotype mean to y'all? Just like,
What is y'all's like?
no, you can say that. No, it's fine.
No.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
You can say that. Speak. No. Genuinely speaking around you.
I think. Wait, okay, stop. Can I curse?
Yeah.
This is
So,
what
like, no. We want your opinion. Like, if you need to curse, it's fine.
Dude, it's fucking bullshit.
Okay.
Alright? I'm just trying to express myself.
Okay.
Like, if I want to be a gay twink, I should be able to.
Okay. I mean, maybe we could use a different form of diction, right?
Definitely.
I see what
Calm
you
it
mean.
down.
You don't fit the mold that society wants, and I see what you're saying there, and I understand that.
Like, I know how Johnny also was talking about going to war and stuff. I can't do that. I'm too scrawny to do that.
Okay.
Now,
and so
do you think that like people like John, like, do you think that they can exist in that can exist in its own like kind of area, but it's like their ideas aren't the problem; it's the fact that they won't let anyone else kind of exist, or is it
Yeah, I
just the
think-
ideas themselves?
They can definitely exist in their own right, but
Yeah.
them trying to be like, oh yeah, it's the only thing. You have to be Macho Man. Like, I just want to share my emotions once in a while.
okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, you agree with like sharing your emotions with others and like being open with yourself and like
Absolutely.
Definitely.
okay. And then Ted, from a more feminine, right, female point of view, like, how do you see this problem?
I think they're kind of weak. They just hide behind this little mask that they put on of like no emotions or anything, and they find a way to like escape through a lot of like different ways, like substances,
Yeah. So would you say alcohol is the main alcohol?
Yes,
Stuff like that? Okay.
As a writer who has to do a lot of research, I recently came across a study in 2019 by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Association about usage of substances amongst people. And one of them was that people with mental health issues are one of the people who use substances the most, and people who had the most mental health issues and used the most were men.
Wow.
So I think that really says something about
Wow.
the expectations of people.
And with what Johnny Alpha was saying is that like these men can't get the help they need when they do have these issues, and it kind of makes the issue worse. Now, what do you think, from your perspective, the role of men is in society? Like, just
do as everybody does.
So equal.
They don't really have a role. They
Gender-
just kind of exist.
So you're kind of saying one sex shouldn't really come with any baggage on like what their place should be at all.
Well, no, I think women should be providers, actually.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Well,
Can you say it again?
please repeat.
I think women should be the providers, actually. Like,
Interesting.
men, we're
Interesting.
doing way too much. Like, I'm doing too much, man. I think women should be providers.
Okay, so would you say because of this pre-existing mold, it's already done a long-lasting effect on you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm mentally scarred for the rest of my life.
just
Johnny
because.
Alpha, can we get you on because I want to
Yeah.
hear what you.
I really wanna
want to
put-
hear some of your thoughts and
Yeah.
stuff in comparison
Put all
to
sides on
Ted's.
this. Johnny, welcome
Listen,
back.
listen.
Oh, Johnny.
Hello.
Hello, Johnny.
Johnny, Ted, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
So you just want me to talk about what's going on right now?
I mean, like,
Yes.
what do you think
Please.
about what
After hearing
everybody's
these
saying?
other viewpoints, you know.
I mean, I think in every man there's two wolves.
Okay. Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no. Referencing back to the
Everybody's
two
right,
wolves
wolves.
analogy.
Wolves.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Two wolves inside him. Okay.
Wait. No.
There's a good one and there's an evil one. All right. I would like to say that the average macho man represents the good one. You know, provide,
No.
fight for his country. The evil wolf is little baby boys like Cash. Okay. Cash.
You can't say that
grow
about
up.
me.
Oh sh. Oh sh.
You can't say that.
Hey, let's keep these
Hey,
respectful.
hey,
Let's keep these
hey, yeah,
respectful.
can we please? So you're referencing the Macho Man in the reference to a pretty common analogy, right? The good wolf and the bad wolf, right? And which one you feed is the one who you
Well-
appear to be in real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I
you
disagree
feed into your
strongly.
emotions. You feed into your emotions. You get the evil wolf. You know.
Okay,
If
so
you don't have
Well-
emotions, you don't
Yeah.
have badness. You know. There's nothing bad to come if there's
Okay.
no emotion.
and how do you cover up your emotions? Oh, when you turn to any substances?
I mean, I was raised to not have them. You know. I was
emotions.
raised to be an
Soulless.
ideal man.
heartless. Okay.
You know,
It's
man,
not a good thing to be heartless, but you don't need to show emotion because all that does is cause problems.
Okay.
yeah, man, I'm live and let live, but I seriously do think like if you try to just kind of embrace like connecting with people more and kind of facing some of your emotions, I really do feel like you get a lot of benefits from that.
And Ted, Cash,
Knowing
if
for someone
y'all
that's not really in that hole.
if y'all have
atmosphere.
if y'all have anything to add, like,
Yeah.
what do you think about this good wolf bad wolf analogy that John
Well,
brought up?
I mean, Johnny was talking about how he uses violence as a way to be a macho man.
Yeah,
like
with firearms.
going to shooting ranges. Yeah, exactly. And I think that represents the bad wolf, like the dark wolf, you know,
I agree.
very aggressive, you know?
So
like,
it's
using
showing
firearms.
it's showing emotions, right? But just not in the emotions that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But God forbid I want to have some fun.
Well, that's fair.
Cash
but, like,
Littman
you have
wants to
violent
just have his fun.
intentions.
I do. just wanna have-
There's no violent intentions.
Now, Johnny, and we're not here to attack you or your beliefs in any way, I think, but something to consider is that, like, wouldn't it, to me at least, it almost seems like a tougher thing if you were, let's say, like, because there's a lot of males out there that, because we talked about substance abuse, have problems, they have mental health, like, they have these problems, but they can't face it alone, and so they bottle it up and they hide it, but don't you think it's almost more brave and more, like, tough?
More macho.
To be able to admit, more macho, to be able to admit that you have these problems, like to seek out for help. Because to me, that takes another level of bravery than just kind of balling it up and then having to project your insecurities.
To other
You're having
other
to face it.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. I would say like wolves, we are wild animals. You know, if you're having these feelings, it's just natural selection.
Mm.
Okay. And would you say that these macho men who don't show feelings, would you say that instead of not showing them, they take out their insecurities and problems out on other people? And pertains like shooting, hunting, and shit like that.
Technically, you're taking it out on another person, but you're doing it for your country. So you're doing it for the greater good.
Oh, so like in war.
So, tell you, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is hitting people like? You think about
Hey, okay. Cash is a little emotional.
That's service.
right?
Yeah.
It's really fresh. This topic's fresh on my mind. I'm sorry, but you're talking about taking violence in different ways. Is this included on other people? You're not
Say
in
it
like
again?
no. It would taking out your violence, right? You talk about like hunting, shooting. Would this also include taking out your violence on other people? And I'm not talking about like in war or
Or like
whatever.
domestic cases, because you see these like
I mean,
macho
I
men.
would never take out my violence unless it
I am
does
a
happen.
victim. I am a victim.
Oh.
I can believe it. You
Uh,
sound like you need a bit of punches, Cash.
whoa. Okay. Cash, would you like to bring out?
Let's keep it respectful, man.
Cash, would you like to bring out like a witness story of being an effect of this mold? Like, say someone who took their anger, right? Someone who took their anger out on you because they were trying to fit this mold. Would you like to bring something to the table? And if
Like,
not,
bring
well,
a witness.
well, like bring a story. You know, if something like that ever happened to you because of a macho man, someone trying to live up to that expectation. And if not, that's totally fine because this is a touchy subject.
Maybe a little bit. It happened so recently that I need.
You gotta hit it out of him. You gotta hit it out of him.
Oh wow! Hey, Johnny Alpha, please, for the third time.
Let's keep it
Yeah,
nice, man. Let's
keep it
nice.
simple. So, I mean,
Wow.
would you ever consider trying to open up frustrations that you have, Johnny Alpha, or would you just keep on living the way you are?
Can I have a moment to think about this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, maybe I could.
Maybe you could.
Huh.
And what do you mean? Like, what would you voice?
Maybe all the shooting and fighting I've been doing has been to hide something.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'd like to bring out my abuser to the stands
Oh,
to talk.
oh, super breaking. Okay. So, can we please let Johnny finish? Can we please let Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
let Johnny finish this, yeah.
You know, maybe.
Oh, ignore that. Okay. Proceed, Johnny. Proceed.
Continue.
Maybe I've been too hard on myself
Yeah.
and other people. Maybe I need to learn to lighten up a bit.
Hey, and
Wow,
you're
this
really
is
brave
really
for saying all
breakthrough.
this, man. You
Yeah.
really are. Like, this is a lot more tougher than just hiding this stuff, I feel.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean,
This is really moral courage that you're demonstrating
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, we're
I
proud of you,
think-
Johnny.
Very proud.
maybe I could be in the same room if Cash was wearing makeup.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Hey guys, we would like to thank Johnny, Ted, and Cash for coming on to the podcast. I think this is a really good episode. See you guys
We
later.
got a lot of good viewpoints, and honestly, I'm
Yeah.
really glad we're able to kind of dive into some of your generational trauma, Johnny, and
Yeah, man.
really sort that through. But with the whole macho man, like, stereotype, it's a generational thing. Thank you, guys.
All right, yeah,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
Thank you for helping me break this generational streak.
Hey, peace sign.
I'm
See you
proud of you.
later.
I'm proud of you, Johnny.
Man.